On today's show, the Thunder are frauds as a 73-win team. KD called game as the scapegoat. So many great games tonight. Game night right now.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night, tipping off now.
And welcome to your Locked On NBA Game Night. My name is Nick Angstadt, host of Locked On Mavericks podcast, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for being in every day or making Locked On NBA your first listen and making the Locked On Podcast Network, what is it? What number?
Number
one podcast network out there. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Joining me, as always, from Locked On Bucks. What'd you see in the NBA tonight, Camille Davis?
A lot of things I did not expect, Nick. A lot of things I did not expect, but it made it for an entertaining night for sure.
Absolutely. A great slate of games tonight. There's some nights where I come on here and be like, a great slate of basketball, and I'm lying to both of us. I'm lying to everybody listening. But this one was actually a good one. Great games from the Pistons Knicks. The Pistons just dominated in that one, and so that was an impressive game from them. The Sixers just got beat by the zombie Nuggets. I don't even know what to call them at this point.
Zombie is correct. That's the perfect phrasing for what we saw with no starters and all the injuries, 9 active players. Like, so much to talk about.
KD called game, but the thing he called it post-game was even more interesting about his time with the Suns. But let's start here because the Oklahoma City Thunder fall again, and it's always going to be a story because this team was on pace to be the next 73-win team, to be a team that broke the win record, that was going to dominate and clear the slate, and they looked so intense and their defense looked so good, and they came out every game with purpose. They said, we know we got a target on our backs and we're going to come in here, we're going to win all these games, and they lose to the Charlotte Hornets in a bad fashion. They're 6-6 in their last 12 games, which is wild. And I got to hear from our guy. I got to hear from Rylan Stiles, and let me tell you, he's not having a good day.
Wow. Just wow. The Charlotte Hornets walk into the Paycom Center, make a ham and cheese sandwich, throw the wrapper on the floor, disrespect the Thunder getting up by 30 points, blowing them smooth out. SGA doesn't play in the fourth quarter. Usually a good thing because OKC's blowing out the other team. Not so fun when the Rabbits got the gun. Shai was not good tonight. This Thunder defense was not good tonight. Their typical flaws of a bad half-court offense and a bad three-point shooting team were exposed, but this time they didn't have their defense to fall back on. Far from it. Charlotte made over half their shots. OKC couldn't even muster 40% from the floor. Look, you're just not going to win games this way. And I know that the Thunder have now opened themselves up to plenty of criticism, well-deserved criticism. But at the end of the day, is there a concern for this Thunder team? If they play like this, there is no concern. The season is over. Like, you just have to know that they're going to eventually play better. Right now, though, they're playing at a level that they can't even beat the Hornets and that they can't even compete with the Hornets. So it's like, yeah, if they play this bad, it's not looking good. But the question is, how much better can they be? Because the half-court offense, the three-point shooting, look, these guys aren't going to magically become sharpshooters. They're not going to magically become, the greatest show ever in the half court. It's going to be a team that is still dependent on their defense, still dependent on Shai. And when Shai turns in back-to-back dud performances and the defense doesn't show up for one of the 2 games, you go 0-2. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Thunder navigate through this. We'll have more on Lockdown Thunder.
Ooh, how far can they go? He said the season is over if they play like this, and I tend to agree with him. This looks like a Thunder team that was tired. Lots of hands on knees and on hips and just like standing around and very like not as intense as I saw them at the beginning of the season, Camille.
Yeah, you got to have the same intensity every level. Like, something I've seen this season, being the host of Locked On Bucks, watching the Bucks lose to quote unquote bad teams consistently through the year.
Same.
You give any team the confidence at the beginning, like, hey, we might be able to hang in here and do this. And as shots continue to fall and intensity continues to pick up for that other team, they'll get that confidence to believe that they can actually do this. And with the way that Charlotte was shooting the ball, rebounding the ball, just being more physical in this game, despite the fact that they were turning the ball over like crazy in this game. Didn't matter what their shooting and their effort on the boards and just their overall hustle in this game. And you saw the difference. Like, Riley got it right. If the Thunder keep playing this way, they're going to get beat.
They just are. SGA, they just cannot afford for him to have a game like he did, just 21 points on 21 shots. That's not going to get it done. And it's one of those games where you realize how good he's been on all the rest of the games, because when he has a bad game, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, hold on. This was being held together by this one guy. Jalen Williams, too, 16 points on 14 shots. Not a good game from a guy that you think is an all-NBA type player. They struggled to shoot, and just all their other role players. They were missing Isaiah Hartenstein, Casey Wallace. I don't care about the injuries. Their other role players just did not step up. Lou Dort has been awful this season. You didn't get anybody really having any kind of scoring input besides Aaron Wiggins with 11. AJ Mitchell had 11 as well. But man, this Thunder team, they're not going to win 73 games. I think they have to go 44-1 at the end of the season to beat the wins record.
That ain't going to happen. We can say that.
You don't think so?
That's not going to happen.
How many more times do they play the Spurs?
One, I believe. Since the
there
Spurs
you go. That could be the one.
Going forward. But Rylan, he's full of bars, right? Because on the website formerly known as Twitter, he said something on there that just made me laugh. And he said the Thunder's offense is flatter than a 3-week-old Sonic Dr. Pepper left in the back of a Honda Civic in the middle of July in Oklahoma.
That's a personal story from him, I guarantee.
Sounded like it, right?
That's like that happened to him.
But also relatable. I understand the analogy in this one. I understand it. And this is a Hornets team, to give them their credit here.
Yeah,
the young core that they're putting together here with Brandon Miller and LaMelo, which has been part of it, as well as Miles Bridges, but now Knuppel as well. What he's been able to do so far, they're 9-4 when those four are in the starting lineup together so far this season.
They've been good. I think Walker Mel from Locked On Hornets gave me a 12-minute post-game video. I was like, I can't do the whole thing, so I'll give you the part that I can't give you. Here's Walker Mel from Locked On Hornets. They're Super Bowl, as he said.
Who's the best team in the league again? Who's the Eastern Conference team fighting for a play-in tournament spot? Yeah, the roles were reversed tonight. The Hornets obliterate the Thunder, 124-97. That's right. It's the worst margin of defeat OKC has suffered this entire year. They only lost a game by 20 or more once all last season. That was against the Lakers in late April. They matched OKC's physicality from the get-go. The Charlotte Hornets looked like the better team as soon as the ball was up in the air for tip. They did a phenomenal job defensively, probably the best defensive performance I've seen from Charlotte in forever long, whatever that is. They forced tough twos. They made things difficult in the paint. They stayed in front of Shai. There was one play where Moussa Diabate walled him off for a long time. Colin Sexton came over on some help defense, knocked the ball loose. Shai gets it back, but by that time, there's no more time on the shot clock. Sion James, he was sensational in this game, manning up the former MVP. Offensively, they were pretty good too. Hornets shot 50-50-90 from the field. 53% overall, 51% from three, going 19 of 37, and they were 92% from the free throw line, 23 on volume. They were 23 of 25 from the charity stripe. LaMelo was a warlock. It needs to be mentioned. He had 2 unbelievable circus shots in this game, both bananas, even by his standards.
Absolutely by his standards. The Hornets, yeah, you said it. They're 9-4 when those guys play, when they're healthy. They have some dynamic players. They've been drafting at the top of the draft for a long time, and they have guys that can absolutely light it up. Knuppel 5 threes, Brandon Miller 7 threes, LaMelo had 4 threes. Just a wild offensive game from them too, against the best defense in the league.
Right. And I know Caruso wasn't out there, but that absence alone, we've seen the Thunder this season with various guys in and out the lineup and them still playing defense at a level where you're like, okay, that looks like Thunder basketball. That was not the case today. And the Hornets players, they were hot. You mentioned the shooting splits from those guys right there. They were carrying it. When LaMelo made that last circuit shot where he had the 1 foot on the 3-point line and just kind of threw it up there, I was like, yeah, the Hornets ain't losing tonight. Everything is going their way.
Thunder are top 5 offense on cleaning the glass, 120 offensive rating, which 5 years ago would just be an absurd thing to say to somebody. Yeah. They've had 6 games under 107 this year. So when they tank, when their offense tanks, it tanks because they have some of these guys that just can't hit threes. And what else are you doing in the offense? And if Shai doesn't have an excellent, superb game, I don't know what else you're doing. But coming up, let's talk about this Rockets Suns game because KD had some things to say about this Suns team as he calls game. We'll talk about that and more coming up. Locked On NBA Game Night continues. Today's episode of Locked On NBA Game Night brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook Fridays already feel different during basketball season. FanDuel is making them even better. Every Friday night before the games tip off, FanDuel gives fans a new way to kick off the weekend with NBA Happy Hour. You can go NBA Happy Hour on the FanDuel app and see what is available. A limited time window where special offers drop right inside the app. There's all kinds of things you can do. NBA Finals odds. Thunder still plus 105 to win the NBA Finals. Nuggets, who we'll talk about a little bit, plus 850 to win. Knicks, who we'll talk about too, plus 1,200 to win the title. And Rockets plus 1,200. We'll talk about them too. Interesting ones over there. We'll see if those change tomorrow. They should change as we go, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on that. So before tip off, check the FanDuel app and see what's dropping during NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 Eastern. A little basketball, a little action, a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Also brought to you by Quo. New year, new us, new games, new players, new system. It's a time when a lot of us look at the messier parts of our business and think there's just got to be a better way to do this. And there is. Streamlining your communications is one of the quickest ways to upgrade that you can make. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, Q-U-O, the smarter way to run your business communications, because when your team is reachable, organized, and communicating, unlike the Thunder's offense tonight, in one place, you're just not just working cleaner, you're creating more opportunities to connect with customers. Your whole team can call and connect and text from one shared business number, so nothing ever gets missed. That's going to be absolutely crucial for your business. It's no surprise. Quo is the #1 rated phone business system. Phone business system. Because that sounds like you sell phones. #1 rated business phone system on G2, trusted by more than 90,000 businesses, from solo operators to growing teams. Make this year the year where no opportunity, no customer slips away. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/LockedOnNBA, QUO.com/LockedOnNBA. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On NBA Game Night. Being it every day or listening every day, we have a daily show that covers your favorite team, Locked On Hornets. Doug and Walker, I can't even imagine what it's going to sound like on their show tomorrow. Doug texted me in the middle of the game. He said, I wasn't going to jinx it. I wasn't going to text you in the middle. This was our Super Bowl. And I was like, it should be. Should be, Doug. Enjoy that one, boys. Go listen to them. Locked On Thunder to hear what's going on with the 6-6 in their last 12 Thunder. Go listen to that one as well. All right. The Suns lose to the Rockets. The Rockets get a win. And, man, I just want to talk about this, the end of it, because it was a little bit back and forth of a game. You had the Suns offense just tank in the second half. The first half of this game was wild. They had 7 shot clock stoppages in the first half, and the PA announcer had to give the players the time in the first half of this game.
I kind of enjoyed it,
which was just like a weird thing in this game. But then the second half, the clocks ended up working. You got to think that shot clock operator is just like sweating bullets probably the whole time. But the end of the game, Houston goes scoreless for 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. They have 94 points for like the last 4 minutes, basically. Just a lot of Durant ISO back and forth. And then Kevin Durant hits the game winner after Devin Booker holds the ball until 5 seconds. Doesn't initiate until 5 seconds into the shot clock, which even the announcers on the Rockets side were like, what is he doing at this point? Jabari Smith inbounds the ball to Kevin Durant. Single coverage. Royce O'Neal stops for a second. Contests the shot, but you do not contest a Kevin Durant jump shot. No one does. Wembanyama would love to, but I don't know if he does. Rises over the top, hits the 3, and man, it was just Kevin Durant with the thumbs like pointing.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. They're in Houston. It was incredible. The post game is what I want to talk about, Camille. The game itself was awesome. At the post game, Kevin Durant says, he was asked if it felt good to hit that shot against this Suns team. He said, a place I didn't want to leave, and my first time being, he stops for a second, and he says, I don't want to sound dramatic, which is Kevin Durant for I'm about to sound dramatic, but I will. Kicked out of a place. It felt like I had been scapegoated for the issues we had as a team last year. So yeah, it felt good hitting a game-winning shot. Just a quick early one. Count it up. Do you believe Kevin Durant was a scapegoat from the Suns last year?
I mean, there was a lot put at his feet about their system of play being too KD-centric, given the injuries that occurred with Bradley Beal and whatnot. And their offense, a lot of times, did just become get KD the ball and see what can happen with it. But scapegoat, I don't think you can put all the blame on what happened in Phoenix last season on KD, because when he was healthy, he was providing them with a lot of positive things there. So
he thinks they did that to him. He thinks they scapegoated him.
Right. Which is like, I can see him feeling that way given the fact that he was blindsided by them wanting to move him. and just feeling like, well, if you want to move me, then I must be the problem. So like, I can get it from his perspective. I personally wouldn't call him a scapegoat, but I can see why he would feel that way. And I love that he said this after the game. I hate when players are always like, oh, this game doesn't mean anything different.
Just another regular season game.
It's 1 of 82. You just play the game. No, I know you have some feeling. You are a human. And I love KD being really honest about it.
If you're like 50 points away from Wilt Chamberlain, you are allowed to say whatever you want at the post game, for sure. And that's where Kevin Durant is. The funny thing you said, he's like, oh, at the end of the shot clock in Phoenix, it just became Kevin Durant, get everyone out of the way, and he does it. That's what the Rockets need right now. They don't have any other options with Şengün out in this one. Like, they didn't have any other options. That's what they went to. But wild one over there. Go listen to Locked On Rockets, Locked On Suns for more on that game. Knicks and the Pistons.
Ooh.
The Knicks, man, really tough one for them. Pistons get a big win. They just dominate the Knicks, 121-90. We gotta go out to our guy Khahil. We gotta hear what Khahil has to say about this, because ho hum, another good win against a good opponent for the Detroit Pistons.
It's the Locked On Pistons podcast. Khahil here. The Detroit Pistons absolutely dominated the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks came into this game wanting to prove that they were the best team in the Eastern Conference, that they were better than the Detroit Pistons, that the East ran through them. And they walked out of Detroit, Cat especially walked out of Detroit, He ran out of Detroit, knowing that the Detroit Pistons are the best team in the Eastern Conference. Cade Cunningham played what I think maybe might have been one of his best games of his career on both ends of the floor, how efficient he was, getting to wherever he wanted to, how intentional he was within the half-court offense. This is one of the best games I've ever seen him play. And Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, Javonte Green, Paul Reed, Isaiah Stewart, all of these guys that the Pistons have to throw at you, they have loads of bodies to be able to just throw at somebody and make you just uncomfortable throughout the entire game. Their defense is one of the best defenses in the league. I think the best defense outside of Oklahoma City. This is what this team's built on. That's the core. That's the identity. When they feed into that, there's not many teams in the NBA that can stop them. And the New York Knicks found that out tonight.
I love Koo is feeling himself with this team this season, man. He said Cat ran out of there.
He deserves to after going through the losing streak. That's
28 in a row to now.
I'm here for it. But he's not wrong. Like, this Pistons win was huge on the second night of a back-to-back. Down some key players. Like, there was no Karis LeVert. There was no Jalen Duren. There was no Tobias Harris. This was an impressive game from Detroit, blowing out the Knicks. The Knicks only led at the beginning of the game when it was 1-0 on a made free throw. After that, it was all Detroit basketball. And
are you allowed to
honestly,
do that?
I just got to clap. That was impressive, especially too. Like, they had lost 3 or 4 games before coming back, smacking Cleveland on that first night in the back-to-back, and then now beating the Knicks. Like, it's impressive what's happening in Detroit right now.
That third quarter especially was just a beatdown. Knicks, 15 points, 5 for 21 for 22 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Cade Cunningham, 15 points. Hit as many field goals, threes, and free throws as the entire Knicks team in that third quarter.
In that quarter, yeah.
Absolutely insane. And like, the Knicks went scoreless from 11-20 in the third to 6-28. Like, almost half the quarter they went scoreless in that one. Wild. Detroit had 7 offensive rebounds in that quarter. The Knicks had 6 defensive rebounds in that quarter. And Mitchell Robinson played 8.5 minutes during that quarter. It wasn't like they were just playing no centers or Cat wasn't rebounding out there. It was Mitchell Robinson, their guy that's been dominating on the offensive rebounds. What an insane quarter. The Knicks tried to switch to a zone with starters, and it just Cade threw an alley-oop to Duren after 2 offensive rebounds, and you just go, this team is just playing at a different level. Like, that play right there with 7:30 left in the third quarter, you just go, all right, this is it. Like, they're just going to keep that momentum going from that play on, and they did. Brunson, Bridges, and Mitch Robinson played 0 minutes in the fourth quarter. Cat played 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. This was a terrible Cat game. 1 of 4 from the field, 6 turnovers. Brunson had 25 points, but 0 assists, 6 turnovers. It's the Knicks' worst offensive rating of the season. And we got to hear from Gavin Schall, because I need to know what's going on with this Knicks team.
Yeah.
Here, at least so far, this is the low point for the 2025-26 New York Knicks after a stretch.
Smart from the Knicks guy to say so far. He's been through enough Knicks seasons to know that it can
He's watched enough of this basketball.
15 of 18 games. They have now lost their 4th in a row. just getting embarrassed on national television by the Detroit Pistons in the first matchup of the season between two teams who met in the first round last year. Detroit just rolls to a 121-90 victory. A lot of the same issues that have plagued the Knicks over the first 3 games of the losing streak. Frankly, a lot of the issues that have plagued the Knicks since the NBA Cup. Real struggles in point of attack defense. Real struggles in terms of screen navigation. The lack of ball handling outside of Jalen Brunson getting exposed by a team that's able to pressure the ball at a really high rate. Only 3 guys on the entire team hit double figures. Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns, and OG Anunoby combined for 19 points, which just, even against a bad team, is not likely to get it done. Against the Pistons, it's going to result in exactly what happened, which was a blowout. Just about everyone looks a step slow. The curse of the NBA Cup feels very much real for the Knicks. I advocated right after sitting guys for a couple of games. I almost wonder if it would do the Knicks some good at this point to sit guys for a couple of games, because they all look lethargic. They all look a step slow. Things are not good right now in New York.
Whew, tough one. Go listen to Gavin and XJ on Locked On the Knicks. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of things to say. Coming up, we got things to say about the Nuggets and the Sixers. The Sixers especially. What happened there? We'll also play Count It Up, where we count out the most interesting, fun things in the NBA with the rest of the games. Locked On NBA Game Night continues. Coming up next. Today's episode of Locked On NBA Game Night brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $20 off any ticket you want to go to anything. There's so many things on Game Time. I was looking through a bunch of the different concerts and events happening in DFW in Dallas, and there's just so many different things. If you live near a big city, you never know what kind of things are happening, what concerts are coming through, what games are coming through, and that's where Game Time comes in. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage back, making it incredibly easy to score amazing tickets fast, simple, and without the guesswork. Browsing the Game Time app is straightforward, intuitive. Finding tickets takes just a few taps. I've done it for a bunch of Dallas Wings games. I've done it for concerts. I've done it for all kinds of things. And so see the view from your seat. See exactly what you're going to pay at checkout. Use Game Time today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use this code, LOCKEDONNBA, all one word, LOCKEDONNBA, for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app and get in on the action with Game Time.
Big chicken, baby.
I think a lot. I'm very smart.
Take that for that.
Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up.
It's Count It Up. We count all the most interesting, fun things in the NBA. Interesting to us is the Nuggets winning this game with, here's the starting lineup for the Denver Nuggets. And you're about to hear Swipa just scream these names in a second. Spencer Jones, Peyton Watson. Okay, heard of him before. Deron Holmes the second. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Jalen Pickett. Bruce Brown. Oh, he's back with the Nuggets too. Zeke Naji played 32 minutes. These are the guys that played for the Denver Nuggets. Absolutely insane that they get a win against the Sixers squad. Embiid played 40 minutes. Yeah. Paul George played 32 minutes. Edgecombe played 42 minutes. Tyrese Maxey played almost 46 minutes. Insane. And if you thought I was excited about it, you should hear Swipe Up.
What a win in Philly. Peyton Watson, Spencer Jones, Jalen Pickett, Hunter Tyson, Zeke Naji, down to the divine 9, no starters, no help, no bench, a bunch of young guys go get it. You get a win in Philly. What a win. Jalen Pickett putting the MVP on an island. 4 step-back threes. Peyton Watson, go get him. That's how you play Denver Nuggets basketball. Ooh-wee, I can't wait for them boys to get healthy. Let's get it.
And get healthy they could, because Jokic, Murray, Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, Aaron Gordon, and Christian Brown all missed this game, Camille.
Yeah, and Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and Christian Brown played against the Nets, where they lost the night before. So they really sat everybody in this game healthy and just resting, and the Nuggets still found a way. That's impressive. 2-2 now without Jokic in the lineup. Man, I'm just impressed.
The overtime was hilarious to me, hilarious basketball. The Nuggets made 2 shots. The Sixers made 2 shots, but one of the Nuggets shots was a 3, and so that made it. But the Nuggets made 2 shots, and they had 4 turnovers in overtime, and they had 2 air balls as well. So they basically made 2 shots, turned it over 4 times, or airballed it. That was the only options for the Nuggets in overtime.
And getting the shot goaltended to help you win the game. So, like,
yes,
it all worked out.
They didn't even make that one shot. It was a goal.
It was a goaltend.
They put one in the basket. That was it. That's all they needed to do.
Luckily for them, Philly also just divulged into a lot of ISO ball. They were tired, bad decisions down the stretch, and the Nuggets had enough to pull out the win.
The Sixers, I don't know what's going on with them. That is a bad loss. Mark Farzetta, Keith Pompey, they'll have it for you over there. That one is just a wild loss right there. That's a loss where you go, I can't believe I have to do this show. Like, I can't believe I have to do Locked On Sixers.
I'm saying it's a terrible loss, and the Bucks lost to the Wizards twice.
The Mavs lost to the Wizards. The second game of the season, I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. We're gonna talk about losing to the Wizards. Oh my gosh. The Raptors get a win against the Hawks, and Sean Woodley has some fighting words, I think, for me.
Oh.
Flag this, Cooper flag that. It's all we hear our dear friend Nick Angstadt talk about. But there are more rookies in the NBA than just Cooper Flag, who rock, and Colin Murray Boyles is one of them. The Raptors take down the Atlanta Hawks 118-100 to complete the 4-game season series sweep over the Hawks. They are now 11-1 against seeds 5 through 10 in the Eastern Conference, and this was the Colin Murray Boyles game. He's been starting of late in place of the injured Jakob Poeltl. He's a 6'7" backup center as a rookie, and yet he looks completely at home on the floor in the NBA physically. And in this game, 17 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals and 2 blocks, and some truly like transcendent looking defense from the rookie in this one. Jalen Johnson goes 5 of 15 from the floor with 6 turnovers. Colin Murray Boyles was all over him, as was Scotty Barnes. Those two guys together are going to be causing havoc for opposing offenses for many, many years to come. And the Raptors in this one, their offense continued to hum along as well. RJ Barrett's back, which seemingly has fixed everything. They were the worst offense in the NBA during the 15 games he was out. He gets back, and all of a sudden they're putting up big crooked numbers once again. A big one for the Raptors to move to 22-15 on the season. And Colin Murray Boyles, don't look now, he's throwing his name in the all-rookie race for sure, and maybe even coming for Nick's precious Cooper Flag in the top spot.
Not the precious.
Not the precious. He's not, by the way. There are so many good rookies in this class with VJ Edgecombe, Con Gnibble, Derek Queen. Like, this is just a loaded class for sure. But the Raptors going with their wing centers with Jakob Poeltl out.
I love it. I love it. This is a Raptors team that the defense is there for them. And in this game, they shared the scoring load. Like, they had 7 different guys score in double figures in this game. And honestly, all season long, the Raptors have just owned the Hawks, swept the season series, and they outscored Atlanta by an average of 16.8 points through these 4 games, their largest differential versus any opponent this season. Like, that is a matchup that the Hawks should hope they don't see in the playoffs.
The matchup that nobody wants right now is against Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, because they just keep destroying everybody. It's a wild thing to watch. This team all of a sudden just wake up. Kawhi only has 24 on 25 shots, 12 boards, 5 assists, but they get the win. And man, this one came down to the end of it. There was a chance for the Warriors. Curry hits a 3 with 1:05 left. They're down by 1. Curry then gets his 6th foul and fouls out with 42 seconds left. And then you get a Kawhi missed 3. Warriors call a timeout. Jimmy Butler just absolutely airballs a shot to end it. Just did not look online from the time he let go of it from his hand.
Knew it was off.
Even for sure knew it was off. That was a tough one for them to go down, but the Clippers get another win. Go to Locked On Clippers for more on that. I want to talk about this Peacock broadcast, though, because they brought in Snoop Dogg at in the third quarter, halftime, or whenever they left him on for the rest of the game, and he was just making this voice. I don't know what he was doing with his voice. My question for you, Camille, what impression was Snoop Dogg doing on the broadcast? Because to me, it was like a cross between Urkel, Billy Kennedy. It was like a pirate, like that times, like he said R at one point. I was like, what is Snoop Dogg doing on this broadcast?
Well, Nick, we all know that Snoop Dogg likes to indulge a bit. So I'm assuming that he was just letting his creativity flow.
Where was this game? This game was in LA. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So he was just having a time and enjoying himself and trying to be professional and a little button up, but then like Snoop Dogg would slip out. So I think that's why it was so many different voices, but his commentary as Steve Kerr got kicked out, that needs to live forever.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild that this is what we're talking about in the NBA. But here we are. It's absolutely wild, too, that the Celtics are as good as they are. John Corrales from Locked On Celtics about their dominating win against the Chicago Bulls.
It's tough to come back from a long road trip and win at home, but the Celtics did it, even though it wasn't pretty. I'm John Corrales from the Locked On Celtics podcast. Jalen Brown followed up his 50-point gem with a 14-point stinker, but it didn't matter because Anthony Simons scored 27 points in the second half to carry the Celtics offense. Neither team shot well, but Peyton Pritchard ignited the Celtics with a half-court buzzer beater at the end of the first half and carried the offense to start the third quarter. That's when Anthony Simons took over. Really where the Celtics won this was forcing turnovers. They forced 13 points and got 13 turnovers and got 19 points off those turnovers. And they got a ton of second chances. The second chance points were 26-12 in favor of the Celtics. So they got the offensive rebounds. They cashed in on those Bulls turnovers. Bulls could not really shoot their way in. They made a late run, but that really didn't matter much. It was the Anthony Simons show, and he saved the Celtics from an ugly game. This is not a pretty one. No one's going to put this one in the Hall of Fame, but the Celtics get the win anyway. And now they are officially the second seed, which is not something we ever expected for the Celtics this season, but they are having a great season so far. I'll be talking about it all on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Imagine if we put individual games in the Hall of Fame. Like if we just had to pick after the game, like where does this game go? Like there's been thousands and thousands of NBA games.
So many.
They hit 23s. I don't know why he mentioned they hit 23.
Because they always hit so many
threes.
It's
the reason they won. I guess the Bulls hit 16. So, but last game of the night, the Blazers dominate the Jazz and get a big win there, 137-117. And I don't have anything to say about this game except for one thing, Camille.
What's that?
The Blazers are wearing their Teal City Edition jerseys
with
the stripe across, but they kept their normal red and black court. My question for you, Camille: should this be a crime?
Oh my gosh! Yes. Thank you for giving me the floor on this crucial matter. I am a uniform purist. Okay, there are a few things that I'm very boomer about. Uniform matchups are one.
Do you care about the white at home?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I wish that they still did that. It's very like to me. I'm like, it's a quick look. Like, oh, white at home, whatever. But to play on a red court with teal and black jerseys,
it's your court.
It's your court. And at a glance, someone might think that the Jazz were at home because they had the white and you couldn't tell the purple. That it was a terrible uniform matchup. It was almost as bad as Thunder Suns last night, where the Suns are wearing black and the Thunder like. Why are you wearing black versus blue? I hate it. It should be a crime. To answer your question, 100% a crime.
Danny Avdija had 33 points on 19 shots. Shaedon Sharpe had 29 points on 19 shots. 7 assists for him, 9 assists for Danny Avdija. Great for those guys. Dynamic backcourt doing some things over there.
Third straight win for the Blazers.
Caleb Love, by the way, every time he plays well, they win. And when he doesn't play well, they don't win. I was listening to Locked On Blazers today, and he's like, they can't win. They don't have a – Mike Richards said this. They don't have a recipe to win unless Caleb Love has a good game. I was like, damn, that's a bad spot to be in if you're an NBA team right now.
Yeah, but hey, listen, Danny Avdija was the Western Conference Player of the Week out here doing his thing. So I think even if Caleb Love doesn't have a bad game, but you get Danny Avdija doing some things that he can do at a very high level with the playmaking and his ability to put pressure on the rim, knock down shots, you're going to be in the game pretty decently.
We had a Hanson Young 4-point game.
Hey. 2 minutes, though. It's efficient in 2 minutes.
4 points in 2 minutes? Like, that's beating Wilt's record of scoring a point a minute. I mean, that's where we are right now. Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On NBA Game Night. Go check out all the great shows all the time. Links in the description there to find that. Go listen to Locked On NBA Daily with Wes, Matt, and Hayes. Great stuff all the time there. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On NBA Game Night.